This is Rin, and she got some devil wings, but don't be fooled, she's an intern for the job of Master Slurpee Drinker. And on her first day, she received a sussy glowing red ball from her boss as a reward for having good grades. Now here's the thing, this isn't no ordinary marble, as this is actually her source of power to make sure she can deliver the goods during her sussy backa jobs as a Master Slurpee Drinker trainee. Regardless, fast forward to her first target on the job, she's tasked to gank a Roblox player named Hojin, as bro has been playing too much video games at night. As such, she sneaks inside his house by cosplaying Santa, and while using his skill called Ghost Walk through the wall, Rin is able to make it right before an unsuspecting and sleeping Hojin. However, after some time staring at Hojin, it finally dawns on her that she has no idea on what to do next, as she's literally level 0 in this department, and it's still her first day. Now the only thing she knows is she needs to surprise gank Hojin's banana tree plantation, which should allow her to steal his soul. And if done properly, she's able to successfully complete her first job. Nevertheless, with time ticking as night falls, Rin decides to hop on Mount Hojin to see if the roller coaster could get up and running without her having to do much. Unfortunately for both of them, Mount Hojin is still fast asleep even with rice cakes right on top the banana tree plantation, as bro is still busy dreaming about gaming like a savage. As such, Rin decides it's time to use some of her newfound powers, as surely nothing could go wrong. So she whips out some red-looking Dragon Balls and places it near Hojin where it begins to glow. It's then revealed that Rin's plan is to make Hojin smell the scent of sussy strawberry from this mysterious red marble look-alike, as it should wake him up in no time. But just as she expected, our boy still continued to dream about video games, and instead, our boy's banana tree plantation started to have a growth spurt out of nowhere, which totally reversed ganks Rin. Now the funny thing is that Hojin has started to look like he's dreaming about playing some dating sim games, and unbeknownst to him, the best female character is literally right in front of him. Anyways, as he dreams about getting to the final cutscene of his dating sim game, which allows him to whip out his dried mango sword, he does the exact same motions in real life, causing him to unknowingly reveal his volcano. Nonetheless, Rin starts to think her powers are actually working, as our sleeping boy is ready for his mega adventure quest, so she decides to fully activate the legendary abilities of the mysterious marble. To do so, she starts channeling her inner demon princess skills, and as she does so with the marble in front of Hojin, a red aura begins to engulf her. As Rin continues to charge on forward with her magic marble abilities, our boy ends up waking up totally confused, and the first thing he sees as he opens his eyes is a cutie looking like she's perfectly from those very cool and great anime where men's volcanoes explode thanks to her. But since Rin's target is now awake, she gets startled by his movement, causing her to drop the mysterious marble, allowing Hojin to accidentally eat Rin's overwhelming powers whole, just like some kind of double Big Mac. It was at this very moment she knew she screwed up, so both of them end up freezing like a bunch of Eskimos from up north in the land of the new American state called Canada. Regardless, Rin's mistake forces her to urge Hojin to run to the bathroom in an attempt to retrieve through some unconventional means to no avail. After a very long time and multiple tries in getting the alien marble out of his system, he decides to just leave the bathroom and accept his fate, as there's no way he can retrieve it, as he can only hope that maybe some Dairy Queen ice cream can help him, as he's absolutely lactose. With the sad news finally arriving through Rin's head that he wasn't able to retrieve her powers, she begins to panic deep down, as she can't believe she totally screwed up her first day on the job, and her mistake was enormous, even larger than Hojin's banana tree. However, as things look bleak for Rin, Hojin pipes up like a true Chad and tells her that since she's a devil Slurpee princess, she probably doesn't even need the marble to win over dude, since he claims that her physical form is literally 69 out of 10. Unfortunately for Rin, she reveals to Hojin that even though she's a devil princess, she's still technically an intern, and she needs the marble to activate her powers until she's able to get promoted by completing her license. Hojin also discovers that not only is this her first ever assignment, but this is also her first time venturing out of her world, and her first time even seeing a man in real life. So now Rin stays on the ground and begins to slowly cry, as she knows she can't go back to her world without the marble, and without her mission completed, so she's stuck in the human world. Luckily for her though, Hojin decides to help her out the best he can, so he allows her to stay at his apartment while she figures things out. But for the meantime, he needs to head out to go to school. Fast forward a few moments later, our boy makes it to school, and he starts thinking to himself that maybe he's going crazy, as he can't fathom his experience with a devil princess literally an hour before. Nevertheless, as he continues on recollecting what just happened during the night, he heads to his first class, but he accidentally tries to open the door at the same time with the most popular girl at school, causing both their hands to make contact. The girl's name is Daeyoung, and she just happens to be every guy's crush at school, including his, so he instantly gets flustered and tries to apologize, but no words is able to come out of his mouth as his simp powers come out in full force. Eventually, she interrupts the awkwardness and tells our boy to stop spacing out, and for the first time ever, she ends up remembering his name and notices Hojin. Things then get more out of the ordinary for Hojin, as Daeyoung randomly asks our boy if he could help her after class to organize some things, so it seems like things are about to get more heated than the out-of-flames Miami Heat. Then, as time passes by, no one else comes to class for some mysterious reason, leaving the two alone inside the classroom, but both of them start to get engulfed by a red aura. With the two already waiting over half an hour in class with no professor arriving, Hojin finally pipes up and kindly asks Daeyoung if she received any sudden announcements to why no one decided to come today. However, Daeyoung, Misuna's twin sister from Sussy Art Online, quickly changes her aloof demeanor as she gets ganked by our boy's question, so she is flustered out of nowhere just from Hojin talking to her. Luckily for her though, Hojin doesn't notice the difference in her usual behavior, so he tells her that he's going to leave and ask the department office to see what's going on. As such, our boy continues on his quest to find out what the heck is going on, but just as he's about to leave the room, Daeyoung's body randomly forces her to get up as her heart starts to race. Things then instantly go from 0 to 69 faster than my instant cup noodles, as Daeyoung is unable to get Hojin out of her mind, even entering the point of her no return as she finds out her secret catacombs have started to leak fresh coconut juice. She then decides to block Hojin's path out of the room, making sure he isn't able to easily leave as it looks like something has overtaken her mind. Mere seconds later, she jet dashes towards Hojin to make contact for her team, but her team failed her again as she's the only one to entry with no follow-up. Of course, our boy gets flustered as he's never imagined that his favorite streamer would ever notice him, nor would he have expected a girl take note of his measly Amazon Prime sub. Anyways, Hojin freezes in disbelief as he goes with the flow as Daeyoung decides to debuff his movement speed by totally unlocking his banana tree plantation as she's able to remove all stats from his armor pants by throwing them out to the side. Moments later, she starts devouring the crazy banana split she just uncovered within the room, but if you look closely, Daeyoung kind of looks like Taiga from Toradora from this angle, but she ain't that short as her. So now as Daeyoung starts having dessert before the main course, she continues to go more crazy than Messi signing up for Inter Miami as she's trying her best to make sure Volcano Hojin explodes. Speaking of Hojin, bro just stands there like he's doing the mannequin challenge on maximum difficulty, where if he makes any move, he knows he will lose concentration and his science experiment of his untamed volcano will erupt all over. Eventually, the volcano explodes and Hojin's science experiment loses for the first time ever, but as he does so, he made sure Daeyoung finished up every drop of the special banana split flavored ice cream. Shortly after completion of her side quest, Daeyoung snaps back to reality and is totally confused to what the heck is going on as she finds herself by the ground while facing Hojin's freshly juiced banana trees out in the wild. As such, she swiftly gets up and starts yelling at our boy, ordering him to forget whatever just happened as she claims aliens have taken over her mind for that brief moment. But right before Hojin could reply back with anything, Daeyoung grabs all her belongings and speeds off into the sunset and out of the classroom faster than my gas, leaving our boy totally speechless. Regardless, Hojin heads back home after school, still shocked that to this day he can't ever figure out why girls keep sending him mixed signals, especially if the girl is the one to make the first move. He then tries to shake it off as he attempts to convince himself that girls make sure you never know their next move, so maybe Daeyoung was just pulling off just a prank bro moment. Anyways, after an eternity, our boy finally makes it home, but now finds himself in dismay and angry that he almost got fooled into thinking Daeyoung could ever like him. Hojin then rushes off to his bedroom, but just as he was about ready to relieve all of his stress through one simple trick, he stumbles upon Rin from last night as he totally forgot about her. However, as he stands over her wondering what to do, Rin notices his presence and wakes up and proceeds to throw him to the ground, where she pins him to ask if he's finally come to give over his soul to her. Mere seconds later, she channels her innocent princess self and proceeds to swap mouth water, relentlessly causing Hojin to stop her in her tracks as he likes no more surprises. However, the turntables turn as Rin instantly apologizes for doing the reckless show of emotion as she just realized something otherworldly has overtaken her senses at that brief moment, so she couldn't help herself but attack. Just as she finished apologizing, it finally dawned on her that whatever just happened to her is literally her own power, so she starts freaking out and asked our boy if something peculiar happened to him while he was out and about. As such, Hojin decides to reveal what happened to him earlier during the day, explaining in full detail what Daeyoung did to him while no one else showed up to his first class. After finishing up his story, Rin's theory is proved to be correct, so she tells Hojin that the mysterious marble is using his scent, which could also lead to the marble taking over his body. With our boy acting totally aloof, Rin pipes up and sternly warns him that he basically stole her powers. Somehow he needs to watch his back, as every girl in college will start to hunt him down, due to him being the only meat they want during unlimited Chinese hot pot.